Hi, welcome to Street Priest Ministries. I'm your host, Brother Jay, as we're taking the gospel back to the streets. Today's drive-through message is, destroy your family's idols. Gideon. We got another pagan holiday coming up. Just got rid of one. Another Heli Day is coming. Got rid of one, Halloween. And here comes the Feast of Saturday, known to you as Christmas. And I thought I'd get a road jump on this one. And I'll be hammering away right up until the date, just like I did Halloween. I think as I realize God has raised me up for this hour to tear down your golden calves and smash them into a million pieces, smash them to smithereens. All your golden calves, all your pagan holidays that came via Rome. And I'm going to use Gideon. This is a destroy your family's idols. Gideon, the story of Gideon. I'm going to use Gideon as a kaleidoscope to show, that God doesn't want his people being entangled with the traditions of the world. The Bible says, come out from among the world, be ye separate. Love not the world, leave the things alone. Part of the world is these holy days that God hates. And it made it clear in the scripture you can't mix the two. And that's what happened. You had this Jezebel whore church of Rome in 433 AD. Pedal Pope Sixtus the Third, 666, gave us all these pretty much helly days. Helly. and took pure Christianity, which you can't find any in the early church, any of them worshiping these holy days. Not one. Not in the Acts. None of it is not mentioned. But I'm going to show you where Halloween is mentioned. Or the Feast of Saturnalia, Xmas is mentioned. I'm going to show you that in a minute. We're going to get there. But if you're going to be a Christian, be one. You can't mix the two. Now you're going to have we're supposed to be Protestants, Protestants. The average Christian is milquetoast, lukewarm, and don't protest anything. And part of the protesting is the traditions of men to make void the word of God. It's what started out the Protestant movement, going against that apostate church that brought us all these apostate religious mixing of Christianity and paganism. And it ain't so in the Bible. And what's sad, you have a lot of these so-called churches that have this pagan symbol, the Christmas tree, in their churches. Why they praising so-called God? You're about to see how God feels about it in a minute. We're going to get there. My Bible says God's the same today, yesterday, and forever. He don't flip-flop like we do. You can't convince him to hold on to your pagan day and hold his hand. You have a rude awakening. All you're doing is opening a Pandora's box for demonic activity coming in your life, no matter how innocent it may seem to you. Well, everybody else is doing it. That's why the Bible said we to walk worthy of this conversation and not do as everybody else is doing, to be a peculiar people. When that word comes from you, but take a dot and take a circle and put it around the dot. We're to be exemplary. You got certain cults that don't celebrate this pagan Christmas. They got it more than the average church got it. It's a few of them. They don't recognize these holy days. So what's wrong with you? Why you got to recognize it? You're supposed to be the vanguard of all these false belief systems. But you got false belief systems don't even recognize these pagan holidays. So what's your excuse? Now I remember when I was, when I was married and raising my kids. I've been divorced for years now. When I was married and raising my kids, the pressure, the unbelievable pressure is put on you to celebrate these holy days because of the kids. Because most of them, you notice, if you ever took time to think about it, revolve around the children. That's where the pressure lies. They make these holy days appealing to children. And what's sad, the true nature of all these holy days was child sacrifice, child SRA, murdering of children. All these holy days, all these feast days incorporated the murdering of children to pagan gods, the demons, including the Feast of Saturnalia, Christmas. And as we go on, I'm going to teach more and more on this, right up to Christmas Eve. I'm going to teach on this pagan holiday. I think God sent me to separate the real from the fake. The real Christians root these pagan holidays up out of their house and serve God with spirit and truth. And Christ said he's looking for such. And the ones that are fake or just leave Christianity maybe all along together. That's what Jesus said. I'd rather for you to be cold or hot. That's what Jesus said. I don't want you lukewarm. There's too many lukewarm Christians trying to do both. You get angry because you upset their traditional apple cart when you tell them the truth. Well, Jesus said you'll know the truth, and truth will set you free. So if you don't love the truth, you would Satan anyway. And you might as well go out with a blast. Stop faking. Don't be plastic with your Christianity. Just have a ball. Squeeze as much as you, because this is all you're going to get. So squeeze as much out of it. Stop playing around. Why go to hell miserable? It's going to be millions, billions probably, of Christians burning in hell since Christ came. They're backslid. And hell's going to be worse for the backslidden Christian is for the witch and the wizard. It's going to be harder for them. But they knew the God. They knew the Lord's will and thought he was playing. It's like these children of Israel. God strode their bones in the wilderness, 2.25 million, because they thought God was playing. And then the second bunch seeped into paganism and thought they could mix God and paganism, and he wiped them out too. The ones he did bring in to the land, wiped their descendants out. Jesus said, take up a cross. The cross is only good to die on. To die to yourself, to die to the world, the flesh, to die to the traditions of men and don't recognize these pagan traditions. What do you think Christ was talking about? Now, we're going to use Gideon. I taught on Gideon. Like I said, these characters have many facets. This is a different facet of Gideon. The first one I dealt with cowardice, because Gideon was a coward. God turned him into a soldier. So Gideon, God's coward. So you get that one, if you want to see that one. And the other one was Gideon exposure. Where we're light, we're Christians, we're supposed to expose darkness. There I teach about us being the children of light. We use Gideon as a kaleidoscope here. That's our job. And this is darkness right here, these dark holidays. Where child sacrifice was incorporated, burning of children in the fires, a topic was normal. This is what you celebrate. And as I said, so we get along more toward this holiday, I'm going to teach more and more and get in depth on how pagan this holiday really is. All right, so we're going to go ahead and go to Judges 6:24. Now, I taught on the power of prayer, Hezekiah, get that teaching. And Hezekiah started out destroying the idols. And that's why I titled this. Because you got to understand one thing with God. to get somewhere with God, God said, draw nigh. You draw nigh to me, I'll draw nigh to you. And the way you draw nigh to him is doing what he tell you to do. Getting rid of what he tell you to get rid of. And we're about to see this in a minute. We're going to read this. God's ways. That's why I read this book right here. To teach you God's ways. God's ways are not man's ways. That's men with his traditions thinking you can have your cake and eat it too. It's not God's way. You come to God, you want to sacrifice. And we're about to read this in a minute. Now Hezekiah, he had a good standing with God because he got rid of all the idols and idolatry and them mixing the two in his day and got them into pure faith. Attending, going to church and worshiping God in spirit and truth. He did a revival in his day. And God started performing miracles and answering Hezekiah's prayer. But he started with getting rid of the idols, rooting out the idolatry in his land. They gave him great favor with God. Now we're about to read the same thing again. The Bible has a way of repeating itself over and over. You can see God's pattern, his ways, if you take time to study. Now this book, that's the problem. Most Christians are ignoramuses when it comes to God's word. And so you don't never know his ways. God lamented that the children of Israel saw his acts, but never come to know his ways. Only Moses, Joshua, and Caleb, and a band of a few. They seen the miracles, everything, the splitting of the Red Sea, and still went to hell. So that's where they went. The guy killed 2.25 million, stole their bones because they saw giants instead of God. And the Bible said that's written for our example. And we to work our salvation out with phobias and traumas. Phobitos, traumatos, in the Greek. Where you get phobias and traumas. You ain't safe till you over there. Ain't no such thing as from the pit of hell. Once saved, always saved. That ain't what Jesus said. Jesus said, Paul said, labor to enter that rest. Jesus said, he that endureth to the end shall be saved. This is like a marathon, not a 100-yard dash. And you got to pace yourself. This is a race. And a lot of people, Jesus said, enter ye in at the straight gate. But wide is the gate and broad is the way that leads unto destruction, hell. And many there be to go in there, because straight is the gate, narrow is the way that leadeth to eternal life, and few there be to find it. Why would he say few? The way he's huffing and puffing, strutting, Smiley Saws and New Age Balaams, and Rufus Glitter Teeth make it seem, you can see the stadiums filled, thousands. Jesus said a few. He said the blind be leaders of the blind, all will fall into the ditch. That's what's going to happen with that crowd. The greed, the gain crowd. And you can best believe that bunch have a Christmas tree on the stage. They worship Satan anyway, behind the scenes. This is his helly days. Now, you're going to learn about God's ways while you start out with God. And we're going to use, like I said earlier, I'm going to use Gideon as our kaleidoscope to get started. And I'm going to show you character after character. And this is going to be my mission up until this pagan early day. And I might decide to do a special sermon on so-called Christmas Eve, Saturday. Start calling it what it is, the Feast of Saturday. It's what it is. Been around thousands of years. Celebrating the sun god, S-U-N God. Tammuz, the fake part of the satanic trinity of Nimrod, Samaras, and Tammuz. Give them a teaching, synagogue of Satan, ancient occult, where I get deep into that. Now, let's see what Gideon does here. Let's show you guys ways. Now, if you want to hear the whole teaching of Gideon, I already told you what videos to get. Rewind and listen again and write it down. But I'm using him just as a kaleidoscope, so I'm not going to spend a lot of time here. We're going to move on. Then Gideon built an altar there unto the Lord, and called it Jehovah Shalom, the Lord our peace. Unto this day it is yet in Ophrah of the Abiezrites. So he built an altar. Altar symbolizes, when you built the altar, the Bible symbolizes you die to your way, come alive to God's way, or whatever deity. It's your total dedication. Just as the sacrifice is made and is consumed in the fire, so you're saying, for me, for his fire of dedication. And it came to pass that same night that the Lord said unto him, Take thy father's young bullock, even the second bullock of 7 years old, and throw down the altar of Baal. His dad is worshiping Baal. Baal is the Canaanite pagan deity of grain, a harvest. They would sacrifice their children to, so they would get a good harvest. Child sacrifice. Now Baal is like a 5-star general in Satan's army. Not Satan, but he's all Satan. But what I'm saying is, he's one of the chief fallen angels in Satan's army. Moloch's another. Well, Hollywood, between those two, Hollywood is worshiping these ancient pagan deities. And of course, you can't forget old Baphomet. But he's a demon. Satan promised them thrones for following him. And he delivered. But he's over it all. He's the king of hell. But these are his 5-star generals. 5-4, you gotta get my teaching on. I'm trying to remember what. I did a lot of teaching on spiritual warfare, and just look up that series. Baal thy father hath, and cut down the grove that is by it. So he's telling Gideon, tear down the ziggurats and tear down your father's idols. Now that was a penalty of death, to tear down a man's idols back in those days. To tear down their gods. And build an altar unto the Lord. Now that's where we got this title, Destroy Your Family's Idols. This is his father. Tell him, destroy your father's idols. Destroy your father's false worship. See, Gideon started out building an altar to God, and he said that wasn't enough. God said, go after your families and force them to sacrifice too. Gideon already sacrificed. That's what we started out reading. I tell him your dad's giving up a bullet too. And tear down his idols in his grove. Now, it's hard for you to say, well, we're in modern times now, and those were pagan days, and they was worshiping idols or statues or whatever. It's what it symbolized. It symbolized a demonic deity. There's no difference today. The idols of the day is through Hollywood, tell lie vision, the movies. sports. So the idols of the day. Religious idols like the Pentecostal movement. Pagan Rome. That's the idols of the day. You got modern idols. You can make anything idol, actually. You can make a child an idol. You can make a movie star. You can make idols, idolatry. Anything you put in the place of God and worship. And they got modern idolatry. They deal with statues and, the pagan church of Rome was filled with the idols, idolatry. And so is Hollywood. They all got statues and carvings of this and that. They bow to and pray to, burn incense to. But that's what's coming into your room via television. That's the media. That's the idols of the day. Jesus told them, attack your father's idols. First thing, tear them down. That's just to get started with God. And build an altar unto the Lord, thy God, up on the top of this rock, in the ordered place, and take the second bullock and offer a burnt sacrifice with the wood of the grove, which thou shalt cut down. God said, cut down his idols and build me an altar and burn his idols in the fire. Use his idols for fire, wood, for my sacrifice. God's taking over the spot. Now, you could put that in modern English in the day's time. Get rid of the idols in your house. And utilize what you do have to worship God. It's easy. It's easy for you to turn your house around. To be a worship center for God. That's what he did. Can't have both. You notice God could have said this. Okay, build me an altar next to your father's idols. Then you would have had Christmas. That would have been Christmas right there. No, that ain't what God said. God said destroy Christmas. And you burning the Christmas tree, take and make me an offering. And using the firewood from the Christmas tree. Put it in English where you can understand. So take that money that you wasted on these pagan holidays and use it for God's glory. Put it so plain to you, you can't get confused. Selling pagan stuff that you have and give it to a God-ordained ministry. I'll make it very clear to you. Sacrifice. You can't even serve God without sacrifice. Well, I'm going slow. We're not going like Speedy Gonzalez through this. We're going very slow and methodical. I want this to settle with me. So you start out with God with sacrifice. Same with the cross. Jesus said, you can't even get into heaven. You can't even be a disciple here unless you go via the cross. Sacrifice. Jesus said, if any man come after me and hate not wife, mother, brother, sister, family, even his own life, you can't even be my disciple. Discipline learn. That's where we get discipline from. That's the problem with Christianity. There's no discipline. I said the best Christians are not the born and bred, but those coming out with a Bible on their head thumping. Those guys irritate to me to no end. The best Christians, God don't have no grandchildren. The best Christians, like I said, are the converts from the Islamic faith or the Catholic faith, former military, Something that instilled discipline, boxing, martial arts, something that had discipline in it. Most Christians are undisciplined. They don't know more about this. The synagogue of Satan, the Masons, know more about the Bible than the average Christian. And the average Christian know nothing about the occult, period. That's running the world. Nothing. The Son 2 said, know thy enemy as thou know thyself. How you going to fight Satan in his meetings and you know nothing about his ways? Matter of fact, you're in the same camp with the rest of the world that's celebrating his holy days. So how you going to fight him and you're celebrating? And you got his pagan symbols in your house. Every time Halloween rolls around, you can't wait to run out and grab some candy. Every time Christmas, the feast of Saturnalia, you can't wait to go and run and buy a pagan tree symbol of Tammuz, decorated with all the satanic symbols, ancient occult symbols, stars and moons, suns, symbols of the ancient occult. And you call yourself a Christian. Sacrifice is what Christianity is about. And he's making him sacrifice his father's idols. He already sacrificed for himself. Now he's making his family sacrifice. That's a big, destroy your family's idols is the title of it. Destroy your family's paganism in your house. The idolatry that's going on in your house. You want to get close to God. Else you're just spinning your wheels and fooling yourself, thinking you can do both. Like this bunch did in the night. Then Gideon took 10 men of his servants and did as the Lord had said unto him. And so it was because he feared his father's house. He feared the wrath of tearing and destroying that. What would happen if you said, look, we're not celebrating these pagan holidays. You'll feel the wrath of your family. There'd be a lot of stress. If it's a man in the house, I'm talking here. A lot of homes now are headed by a single female. It's part of this Agenda 21 to split up the home and the family, which Satan hates. God loves and Satan hates. God loves the family, Satan hates. He loves a man and a woman, traditional in the house, raising children. He said, be fruitful and multiply. He ain't even went to abortion though. God can close your womb up. He don't want you to have no more kids. So a lot of women testify to that. They had a certain amount and that was it. They didn't have no more. So that's another topic. But these pagan holidays all sacrifice kids anyway, so it's kind of along the same line. Including Christmas. And when the men of the city arose early in the morning, behold, the altar of Baal was cast down, and the grove was cut down that was by it. And the second bullock was offered up on the altar that was built. And they said to one another, who had done this thing? And when they inquired, they said, who cut down our idols? Who threw away our Christmas tree? Who threw away the reindeer on the roof? Who threw away the Christmas lights? It was Jay that did it. And when the men of the city rose early in the morning, behold, the altar of Baal was cast down, and the grove was cut down that was by it, and the second bullock was offered upon the altar that was built. And they said to one another, who have done this thing? And when they inquired and asked, they said, Gideon, the son of Joash, have done this thing. Then the men of the city said unto Joash, bring out thy son, that he may die. I told you the penalty was death. Start touching people's idols, they want to kill you. And take them, rip that 60-inch idol off the wall called Tell Thy Vision. You see what kind of reaction you get. Throw it in the trash. Take an axe to it. See what kind of reaction your family gets. People get pissed when you touch their idol. No different in this day. Some people pissed at me for even preaching against their idols. the pagan Helene. And they said to one another, who have done this thing? And when they inquired, they answered, said, Gideon, the son of Joash, had done it. Then the men of the city said to Joash, bring out thy son, that he may die, because he did cast down the altar of Baal, the false god, and because he had cut down the grove that was by it. And Joash said unto all that stood against him, will ye plead for Baal? He's supposed to be a god. This Baal is supposed to be God counter to the God of the Bible. So why can't he fight his own battles is what they're saying. Will ye save him? He that will plead for him, let him be put to death while it's yet morning, if he be a God. And let him plead for himself. If he's a God, he'll kill Gideon himself. We y'all need to help the God out. Let him fight his own battle. Let him be put to death while it is yet morning. If he be a God, let him plead for himself, because one had cast down his altar. Therefore that day they called him Jerubbabel, saying, let Baal plead against him, because he had thrown down his altar. Okay, that's it for Gideon. Like I said, we were going to use him as a kaleidoscope. Now we're going to move on. Now, we're going to see the heart of God here, how he feels about idolatry. So let's go to Deuteronomy 18:9. Deuteronomy 18:9. I just wanted to use Gideon as a kaleidoscope. Now you see how Gideon started out. By wiping out his family's idols, destroying his family's idols. That was just the beginning to get in good with God, to go on to the rest of the mission. You can read about that or hear about that in the videos I already gave you. I taught on the whole book of Gideon. Now Deuteronomy 18:9. When thou art come into the land which the Lord thy God giveth thee, the land of milk and honey, Canaan. This is what God has instructed. Which